Welcome to Myths and Mythologies, where legends are reborn and gods clash in timeless battles. Here, ancient tales meet epic storytelling as we unveil the power, tragedy, and triumph behind the myths that shaped civilizations. Step into a world where heroes rise, deities thunder, and destinies collide. This is your gateway to the extraordinary, the stories that echo through eternity. Subscribe now and let Myths and Mythologies guide you into the heart of legend. The saga begins with you. The cosmos trembled as two titans stood on the precipice of an inevitable collision. The All-Father of Asgard, Odinforce, and the Last Son of Krypton, Superman, had long remained in separate spheres of influence, each a legend in his own right. But fate, woven by forces beyond their understanding, would pull them into a battle that would shake the very foundations of existence. It began with a whisper among the stars. A great cataclysm threatened the balance of the multiverse, one that even the Watchers dared not interfere with. A convergence of energies, bound by the remnants of dying celestial bodies, spiraled towards Midgard, promising ruin if left unchecked. Odin, ever the vigilant ruler, turned his gaze towards the anomaly, sensing an unnatural force tied to magic and the fundamental laws of the cosmos. It was unlike anything he had encountered, even in his eons of wisdom. Meanwhile, light years away, Superman patrolled the outer reaches of space, having recently confronted a crisis on Warworld. His keen senses detected the disturbance, and as the guardian of Earth, he could not ignore the growing storm of energy spiraling towards his adopted home. With a determined heart, he raced across the void, a streak of red and blue cutting through the darkness. The anomaly, however, was not a mere accident. Unbeknownst to both champions, a faction of rogue cosmic deities had orchestrated the event. These beings, long banished from both Asgard and the Phantom Zone, sought to weaken the very pillars of order by pitting Odin and Superman against one another. By manipulating strands of fate, they ensured that both warriors would perceive the other as the cause of the disturbance. Odin, standing atop the Bifrost, peered into the disturbance with his remaining eye. His ravens, Hugin and Munin, relayed visions of a powerful figure approaching, one clad in red, blue and an insignia resembling hope. Odin tightened his grip on Gungnir, his enchanted spear, as the Bifrost surged with energy. The gods of Asgard assembled behind him, awaiting his command. But Odin would not risk their lives needlessly. He alone would confront this so-called champion of Earth. Superman, on the other hand, arrived in the vicinity of the disturbance, finding himself suddenly pulled through a rift in space-time. The crimson and gold glow of Asgard surrounded him, and before him stood a figure of immeasurable power. The air crackled with divine might as Odin descended from the celestial halls, his presence exuding an authority Superman had rarely encountered. "You dare breach the realms of Asgard, outsider?" Odin's voice boomed, shaking the golden spires. "State your purpose or be cast into the void." Superman, ever the diplomat, raised his hands in a gesture of peace. "I mean no harm. There's an anomaly threatening the balance of the universe, and I'm here to stop it. If you're behind it, I have no choice but to intervene." Odin's eye narrowed. "You presume much, mortal. I have safeguarded the realms since time immemorial. If it is a threat you seek, look no further than your own interference." The rogue deities watched from the shadows, their machinations coming to fruition. They whispered false truths into Odin's mind, painting Superman as a harbinger of destruction. To Superman, they projected a vision of Asgard's energy consuming entire worlds, leading him to believe Odin's actions were a prelude to conquest. Misunderstanding transformed into confrontation. The tension in the air became unbearable, the sheer force of their presences bending reality around them. Lightning danced across the skies as Odin lifted Gungnir, and Superman clenched his fists, his eyes glowing red with the weight of necessary action. The battle was inevitable. The clash of gods and legends was about to begin. The skies above Asgard darkened, crackling with celestial energy. The golden spires of Odin's kingdom gleamed under the violent storm of fate. From the Bifrost's end, Superman hovered, his red cape billowing in the godly wind, his eyes burning with solar fire. You come here with the strength of 100 suns. But strength alone does not make one worthy, Odin's voice boomed. Superman clenched his fists. I didn't come to fight, Odin, but I will defend Midgard from anyone who threatens it. Odin sighed, gripping Gungnir tighter. Then let us test whether you are truly its protector. With a thrust of his spear, Odin unleashed a torrent of energy. The sheer force shattered the sky, splitting the clouds apart. Superman shot forward, meeting the blast head-on. The explosion shook the Bifrost, but Superman emerged unfazed. His fists clenched with the force to shatter moons. He struck Odin with a punch that sent the All-Father crashing into the halls of Valhalla. But Odin was not so easily broken. Rising, he extended his arms, calling upon the Odinforce. Asgard itself answered, filling him with cosmic might. Impressive Kryptonian, Odin mused, but I wield the power of creation itself. With a single gesture, he commanded the elements, lightning, wind, and fire, all converging upon Superman. The Man of Steel roared against the onslaught, his heat vision carving through Odin's attack, but the old god's mastery of magic was unmatched. Odin whispered an incantation, and suddenly, Superman felt his muscles weaken, his connection to the sun dim. He faltered for just a moment, one moment too long. Seizing the opportunity, Odin summoned Mjolnir from the depths of Asgard's vaults. The hammer spun in his hand before striking Superman with the force of the world tree's roots. The Kryptonian was hurled across the battlefield, slamming into the Rainbow Bridge, cracking its foundation. Superman gasped, his vision hazy. He had never faced power quite like this. He forced himself up, pushing past the pain. Odin approached, unwavering. You have the will of a warrior, Superman, Odin said, raising Gungnir. But I am a god of war. Superman launched himself forward with everything he had left. Odin did the same. The clash shook the cosmos, their blows tearing rifts in space. But as the battle raged, Superman's strength began to wane. The All-Father's power was ancient, limitless, and it weighed upon the Kryptonian like the force of the entire universe. With one final devastating strike, Odin summoned the full might of the Odinforce, a wave of celestial energy that engulfed Superman completely. When the light faded, Superman lay motionless, his indestructible body kneeling before the All-Father. He was breathing, but he could fight no more. Odin looked down at him, his expression unreadable. You have fought well, son of Krypton, but the throne of Asgard bends to no one. He turned, Mjolnir returning to his grasp. The battle was over, Odin had won.